what's up, Candid Cinema? It's your girl, CC, and let's get candid about Only Yesterday, and also the Laid Back Camp movie. So, I know this is another non-traditional movie review that we're doing this week, and I guess this is also going to probably be a podcast episode as well, but I was at MomoCon this weekend, and that was Thursday to Monday, and so I wasn't able to watch a movie in time to get a real review, and since we're having severe thunderstorms in our area, I also wasn't able to get to a movie theater to watch something yesterday or today, which, you know, turns into me not being able to get you guys a real movie review quick enough because I haven't been able to watch a movie quick enough. So what I did was instead watched a Studio Ghibli movie that I haven't seen before, Only Yesterday, and I also want to talk a little bit about the Laid Back Camp movie that I happened to see while I was in Japan. So it wasn't dubbed, it was fully Japanese, and I can't speak it. So let's talk about that. Only Yesterday was an interesting movie. Funnily enough, on Rotten Tomatoes, it is rated 100%, which I think is funny considering My Neighbor Totoro, Spirited Away, Howl's Moving Castle. You know, the big hitters in Studio Ghibli movies are like in the 90%, but not 100%. So this one being 100% was interesting to me. So I wanted to watch it, almost just for that reason. But the description also seemed pretty interesting as well. And after watching the full entire thing, my dad was also there. I liked it. I don't really know if I'd rate it 100%. It was a good movie. I just didn't enjoy it more than the ones that I just named. But it was good. I think if you were to talk to somebody who didn't like anime or who didn't know anything about anime and you wanted to give someone a realistic thing to watch that kind of lets them explore Studio Ghibli and explore the anime universe, this one's a good one to start with. I mean, it is probably the most grounded Studio Ghibli movie that I've seen, and really an anime that I've seen, and also one that is like a really realistic view of the human experience, just in general. I mean, she was a 27-year-old woman, like me, reliving her 5th grade year as she travels to go to the countryside to do some work that she actually finds enjoyable. And so the whole movie is her just having some flashbacks, thinking back about some interesting key moments of her 5th grade year, and also telling a couple of people about it when it happens to pop up. So it's like a animated and brought to life version of you recounting a story from your youth. So like you have something happen, it's like, hey, that reminds me of blah blah blah. That's exactly what this movie is. And I even told my dad while we were watching it, it was kind of funny because halfway through I was realizing that I've had a lot of these experiences that this woman went through. So it's kind of really amazing and cool that even two cultures that are worlds apart and two countries that are just miles and miles apart can have such similar experiences in the formative years of your life. We all go through bullying. We all go through like similar instances of bullying and not understanding certain things, and like the experience between girls and boys, and then other things like that. Like, it just boggles my mind how certain cultures and people can be so ignorant towards each other, and some folks being racist or xenophobic. It's just like, how can you do that when we all are human and we all have very similar, if not the same experiences throughout our lives? Like, yes, there's going to be differences because of culture, but this movie clearly shows that there is immense similarities between all of us. Really? So there's like no point in being racist or xenophobic because like we're the same. Really. But hey, this movie was really fun to watch. And thinking now, I can kind of see why Rotten Tomatoes was like, yeah, this is 100%, because it's so real and it's so, yeah. Like, you can just relate. Like, her talking about girls getting periods at this time, like early developers, and learning about it in school. A lot of these embarrassing parts to it, or the taboo-ness of it, or like just learning that, hey, this is natural and you kind of just have to be okay with it or else you'll never be okay with it. It's just so relatable and real. And then her just recounting it and being like, yeah, it was kind of crazy how we were so naive and just kind of silly back then. And now that we've have the perspective and the years, I can look back and being like, that was crazy how I acted, or this, that, and the other. And it's so real. Now, there was some concerning parts to this movie, like one of her memories was of her father hitting her once, just once in her entire life, but once is too much in my opinion, because she ran out into the street with just her stockings on. She didn't put on any shoes, so he found that to be disrespectful, I suppose, and hit her. And yeah, that was the first and last time, she said, but, it was slightly concerning that was his knee-jerk reaction and very quick on it. But he also seemed like he was very distant from the family anyway, in a way that it's emotionally distant. Maybe not distant as in the physical attributes or caring for his family, I suppose, but emotionally distant. It was just too bad. But overall, I think I would give the movie a 7 out of 10. If you want to see a really nice, cute little movie that's very relatable, really, Only Yesterday is very good. I do recommend it. And like I said, I was going to talk a little bit about the Laid Back Camp movie. I think I have it on... funnily enough, I did not put it on my wall, but I did see it in Japan when it came out. It was 2022 in July, I believe. And basically, it was a movie that came after the events of the Laid Back Camp anime series. And it was a full feature-length movie. It wasn't like a movie that was recapping the events and then giving some of the next season. It was a full movie. And it was the girls being older and them not camping so much anymore, but then them being like, let's get together and actually camp again. And then they bought and created their own campground for kids and individuals like them who fell in love with it at such a young age and wanted to spread the joy. At least that's what I gathered, because it was all in Japanese, because I was in Japan and I don't speak Japanese. What's great about this movie is that it was done so well and so beautifully. Like, the animation was just great. It was gorgeous. But every beat of the movie was understandable to me as the broad picture because of how well they animated it and how well the emotions were there and the storyline. Because everything that I got from that movie was visual. And, the auditory aspects of whoa, or not like the talking bit because I didn't understand it. But I did gather the real aspect of the movie. So if you can make a movie and have someone understand the entire movie even though it was in a different language, you've made a good movie. You've made a solid movie. Because if you're just relying on the talking to get your point across and to get the plot across, then you're losing out on not spoon feeding everything to the audience. You're losing out on giving a really good experience that it doesn't have to be propped up by dialogue. You want everything to work together in a way that not one piece is a crutch. You want all legs to be standing on their own. And this movie did it very well. I thought it was very cute. It was a fun little movie. And I did get some Japanese words like the hellos, the goodbyes, the excuse me's, the basic stuff that you would need to kind of get along as a foreigner in said country. But it was just really fun to watch. I enjoyed it thoroughly, and I would love to see a movie in Japan again. I definitely want to rewatch the movie in English since it is on Crunchyroll, I believe. But I'm just really glad that it did so well that I was able to understand the majority of it just by being there. It was just a great movie. I just loved it very much. 7 out of 10 again. And both definitely deserve a rewatch for sure. Maybe not so much Only Yesterday because I did see it in English, yeah. But I wouldn't mind rewatching it. I hope that you enjoyed this fast little podcast episode, and I will be watching Lilo and Stitch the Mission Impossible movie, The Last Rodeo, the Karate Kid one. So one of those 4 movies I'm going to be doing a real review on for next week, and then I think I'll do another podcast episode for the other 3 that I don't make into a real review. So if you want to see one of those as the real review, comment down below so I know which one is more pertinent to you guys. It probably won't be the Mission Impossible one. It'll probably either be the Lilo and Stitch or the Karate Kid. So comment down below which one you think would be better for the real review. And make sure you like and subscribe so I can keep making videos like this for you. And then also, right up here, you're gonna see some boxes. Right up here is gonna be the best video for you. And then right here is a playlist for all of my reviews so far. So if you haven't seen all of them, you just click this. Also, click this button right here to go straight to my channel to see anything else. And thank you so much for watching. And just remember, right here at Candid Cinema, it's okay to talk, it's okay to text, and I will see you later. Bye!